Everyone said it's impossible to do high nightmare dungeons as a summoner necromancer. Wrong. I recently did 2 changes to aspects and itemization that made my minions survive in Nightmare 50+, boost my damage by 300%, and enhance my own survivability. Let me break down the changes and also try a level 53 Nightmare Dungeon for the first time ever together with you. Let me first give you a quick breakdown how my Summoner Necromancer works, and then the 2 things I changed that boosted it incredible. We're using Shadow Blight as a damage stack, together with the Skeletal Cult Mages on bonus Essence and the Skeletal Warriors for the bonus corpses. Now there's a sad caveat to this, but we had to sacrifice the Golem. It's worth it though, as you might have seen in the intro. You deal 30x multiplicative increased critical strike damage, but you lose the ability to summon the Golem. We're using Blight to slow and immobilize our opponents. Then Corpse Explosion obviously is our maximum damage in Blighted Corpse Explosion for the shadow damage. Yes, there is the Skeletons boosted health-wise and the Skeleton Mages too. We sacrifice Dark Embrace because we're not standing close to enemies anymore at all. And we put Death Reach in instead with a multiplicative on distance enemies. And now we have 6 points in amplified damage, plus 5 points in total for Decrepify for the minus damage the opponents deal, and to apply even more slow. And then the lucky hit chance, which is extremely important, together with our Ring of Mendeln, which does a huge damage boost to your minions. That is even more efficient now than ever with the new changes. And yes, we're actually using a one-hand and offhand now. More to that after the abilities. Very important, 2 points in Reaper's Pursuit for movement, 3 points in Gloom for the stacking shadow damage, and 3 points in Terror for the bonus damage versus immobilized and stunned plus slow. That's 18% multiplicative bonus, which gets enhanced by 4 points in Corpse Tendies. Corpse Tendies over Golem, many reasons. Once, it actually pulls things together, which really works incredibly well on your shadow damage and your lucky hit chance, because more things pulled together at one point, more procs of your things, more chance to actually hit lucky hit. Plus, you obviously permanently have things vulnerable, and it only has an 8-second cooldown. The Golem has a bit longer cooldown, but this one is permanently up, which you will see in the dungeon gameplay. And obviously down here we have the Inspiring Leader, plus the death defense so they don't die, with 1 point in bonus essence and the Shadow Blade as we talked about. Again, I don't use Hellbent Commander because I'm not really standing close to my mages. I'm always like somewhere around in the battlefield, but never really close into them, so it's not worth it. Now, why is Corpse Tendies so good? And that's my #1 aspect on my one-handed weapon. Gain 20% increased critical strike chance for 6 seconds when you cast Corpse Tendrils, and that's 60% bonus critical strike damage too, which would give us a 40% critical strike chance here and an up to 200% critical strike damage, which I can higher tremendously with my Paragon board in the long run. Most important, this is a one-handed weapon now, which actually allows me to have an offhand with a bonus aspect, but also the intrinsic stat of a wand is lucky hit chance. So I just get a bonus of lucky hit chance to prick my Ring of Mendeln, to proc my cooldown reduction, and the Corpse Tendril itself actually has lucky hit chance, as the Golem did not have lucky hit chance, so it can reduce its own cooldown. That gets followed by my offhand, and one good thing about the offhand as well is the offhand can have maximum minion life, boosting survivability of the minions, making them able to not die that much. Amazing. Plus, I can put the Shadow Blight Key Passive 10 stacker that gives 71% bonus damage, or 120% in total to everything. And yes, that 120% can essentially critical strike. It's 120% bonus damage on everything I do, multiplicative, plus then the chance to critical strike for 40% or 200%. You notice where this is going. Now, one thing to enhance the survivability of my minions the most was the new amulet though. And the new amulet is you gain 0.75% armor for 4 seconds when you deal any form of damage. And since your minions get part of your armor as well, this really makes them survive more than anything else. The more armor you have, the more armor have your minions, the better it is. And there's even a potion you can drink with another 900 armor plus that then goes even further. Now, having a helmet that gives you 10% of total armor plus is quite nice. These 3 get amplified by the Shadow Blight Key Passive stacking up to 5 times for 200% bonus on that, plus the 120%. And yes, the Shadow Blight Key Passive can crit. It's 200% on the 1,500 damage, 120% plus, 40% plus with your Flesh Eater. Like the 40% crit chance for 200% bonus damage on top of all of that multiplicative. Yeah, your Shadow Blade key passive can go up to the 50k and more for just randomly ticking as you do shadow damage. On the boots, we're looking now for Corpse Tendrils +4, and also for survivability, I added dodge chance. On my chest as well, I went for more maximum life for myself and damage reduction from close and far, which is fantastic. The only thing this is missing is minion life, so I would actually make the bonus darkness skill damage away. Yes, you don't need this. The plus 20% it's cool, but you really don't need it because you want you and your minions to survive and your multipliers to just do their multiplication, and that's where the real damage comes from. Therefore, if that was minion life, billion times better. And don't forget that everything what you do corpse explosion wise gets X14 anyways by the hell from below. Now, as a heads up, if you're doing lower nightmare dungeons, you could actually take the corpse tendrils and put on a two-handed weapon for a big damage boost, and then have it up to a 40% increase in critical strike chance and 120% critical strike damage. That's quite mental as well, but we're trying to do as high nightmare dungeons as possible, and that's where survivability is key firsthand. Now, there's the third thing I kind of forget to mention, and that is a complete new Paragon glyph, which adds an insane multiplier. But more to that after the Nightmare Dungeon. Champion's Demise, tier 53 Nightmare. Haven't attempted that yet. Let's go for the first time ever. Haven't been in the Demise for a while because I hate the Goat Shamans. Yes, Goat Shamans are terrible. Also, note to myself, keep away from Death Pulse enemies. I constantly die to them. Now, as you engage her right now, oh, that's a big elite pack straight away. Let's do Corpse Tendrils. Instant reset Corpse Tendrils, you notice? Do them straight away again. And you see the yellow crits, like some 400Ks and everything rolling in? Yep. That's me getting frozen. When we kill everything, from me getting frozen with the one who didn't die. Okay, let's not get frozen by him again. Oh, that's going to be a bit weird. Get that corpse in. Resummon our friends. Get that corpse in again. The good thing about corpse tendrils, it is... Oh, that's everyone dead. Let's not have him just run past our minions and attack us, right? Weirdo. Freeze him into place. Good thing about like the constant corpse tendril cooldown is you just essentially really lock someone down. Minions do not die. Perfect. Blood orb, pans. I guess we're gonna kill every single shaman because we just hate them. Pull it together. Very nice for this build because you're pulling things together finally. The golem does the same stun, but one thing the golem was missing out on, pulling this all together here. And then you essentially overload them completely with all your damage. And wow, we did have some lucky hit procs there. Because the Ring of Mendeln can, you know, still lucky hit proc from everything you do. And the more things you have together, the more things that get hit at the same time, the bigger the chance that one of your lucky hits actually procs. And interesting, right? Engage, tendrils, pull, explode, completely rampage everything. Keep out of the death pulse. Was it death pulse? It was death pulse, right? Yeah. One thing you get to learn about higher nightmare dungeons is that no matter how survivability you are, oh wow, hi. There is a world where just like any minion can hurt you. No, it's a little bit like Dark Souls, where you're like, oh look, it's only Timothy Jebediah Jones. He looks very weak, and then bop, 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 triple hit back to back. You need to use 4 Astus Flasks to heal back up. It's what I noticed now in higher nightmares, generally. You know, like you just usually leave some things alive and just fly past them, but I just kill it all. I mean, also to test the power of my build again. Oh, there's Elite Spider. Pull it in with everyone else. Oh, what happened to that? What happened? What happened to that elite mob? Exactly. That's the new power of the Corpse Tendrils super overload, getting everything together. Yeah, you can just make elite packs vanish now. I usually avoid death pulse because I'm trying to show off how cool and survivable my minions are. And then we're essentially playing a death pulse dungeon. That's like the exact like worst case scenario for what I could do. Permanently keep them locked down and everyone's dead already. Tendrils, you're so beautiful. I don't know how I missed out on tendrils so long. I will apologize for everyone I told in the comments that tendrils is not needed. I learned, I made a mistake, and I get better now. So sorry. Here we are. We improved as a person. We learned that tendrils are absolutely satisfying to use. Probably the most fun in the game so far as a necromancer. Oh, you don't attack me. So, and the main interest I want to do is I want to show you the boss. How it actually does, really, versus the boss. But yeah, you notice, like, if you watched my 3.0 Necromancer update, how much we improved damage-wise. Like, that's pretty huge in terms of, like, overall damage. How my minions got even more survivable as they have been ever before. The gameplay loop also got a bit more streamlined with being able to just throw in the corpse tendrils and really pull everything together. It's nice. You can, like, stay to the side here, use the tendies, get everything together. You know, use the tendies again, get everything together, tendies, and you just keep everything so nicely locked down. Oh, we actually have tendies again. Like, why would you ever have them essentially get close to you to do anything annoying to you when you can keep everything back there? I mean, they killed my minions now. That's the first time truly all my minions got wiped out. Doesn't happen often. Does happen every now and then. The way how to improve on this right now is to get minion life back on chest. I do have my old minion life chest, but I also need the own life on me. So I need maximum life on me and minion life, essentially, to really make this work. That would be another 50% plus maximum minion life. Now, we don't know if minion life also scaled perfectly as it should, but my old chest gave them definitely another push in survivability. So I think for like Nightmare 60, I might have to find like a chest that does that, and you can essentially spam it. So don't literally worry. Like, that's the first tendril. Not really pulling everything together, but it's okay. That's the second. That's the third. Like, you notice, like, you're gonna, like, by the end of the fight, you have the ability to have cast tendril like as many times as you want. And essentially you have like the bonus crit damage permanently up. Oh, there is an elite coming from. Ah, that's where you're coming from. I was like, where are you coming from? Well, you're dead already. That was quick. Despite death bolts and frost, my dudes did not die. Good to see. Best case scenario, you have a corpse right here. Pull everything out of that mob together and then essentially lock it down so you don't ever have to enter this. And you notice how, yeah, maximum efficient that is. So the poison goes away. Khazra Abomination. Finally, bosses become at least a modicum of something. With the corpse tendrils, you introduce another stagger multiplier, and as you can see, even on the boss, the corpse tendrils more or less comes instant. He's already staggered, and now look at the damage that he instantly got while being staggered. There's so nice damage coming in. Now, what's the new Paragon glyph we're using? That's actually control. For every 5 intelligence purchased within range, you deal 6.7 increased damage to crowd control targets. You and your minions deal 10% increased damage to slowed or chilled. We do that constantly. Or instead, 20% increased damage to stunned or frozen, which we also do constantly with the corpse tendrils. So it's a 20% multiplicative damage on everything we have already multiplicative going on. Now, to truly work on not dying anymore at all in Nightmare Dungeons, I need more maximum life on my pens and probably revert the all stats to another of damage reduction. I want a maximum life high roll here on my tunic, and I need minion life on that as well. There is already maximum life here and on the ring, so that can't get better. We have minion life here. That's fantastic as well. These can't really improve anymore. Obviously, in the Paragon board, there's still the chance to pick up some 4% maximum life nodes because we have tremendous amounts of damages right now, and I think it will only get better over time. Our minions have the maximum survivability reached. We could tops get some more armor and resistance in for them, but that's not really worth it because the main armor they get is from me, and the more armor I have, the more armor they will have. Now, if you want a full view of the Paragon board, link in the description below. Hope you enjoyed the Summoner Necromancer update 4.0 at this point. I was surprised that it went so well, and yes, I'll play this to 85 and make an overall wrap up on the Necromancer and how it feels. We will be attempting further Nightmare Dungeons to just push the limits of Summoner and how far it can truly go. My interest is obviously taking minions to Lilith and taking summons also to 100 nightmare plus. For that, they might actually have to be buffed. That being said, if you're more interested in a Blood Surge Necro or actually a little template to plan your items perfectly, 2 videos for you to watch.